snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so I wanted to do a little vlog of two events that I went to, both of which were hosted by Gollancz, who are a publishing company based in London. They're fantastic. They publish a lot of great authors like Brandon Sanderson, Scott Lynch, various other people that I'm sure you will have heard of. They are a fantastic publisher, and they invited me along to go to the pre-party for GollanczFest, which was on the 17th and 18th of September, and I went to a pre-party on the 16th of September. It was all at Foyles on Charing Cross Road. People could book tickets to go on the Saturday and Sunday. There were various different events with different panels and different authors on those events. And it's a really, really fun thing that I hadn't done before. I wanted to go last year, but I was up in Nottingham at uni, so I didn't get the chance. But this year I knew that I would be going. So I went to the pre-party, as I say, on Friday, and then I also booked tickets to go to the Sunday events. So I'm going to show you guys some footage that I took whilst I was there. It's just the authors chatting. I'll try and put on the screen who the authors are in case you don't know them by face, because we all know that we all know them by book rather than by face. But it was a great event, and I got to hang out with all my friends. My friend Maddie came up with me. She's not been to a book event before, so it was great to have her along. And then I also met up with Eleanor and Charlotte and Joe and Phil and all sorts of wonderful people who I know at publishers. So it was a really, really great event. When I went to the Friday night, I was a little bit unsure because I didn't really know anyone who would be going, except for a few of the authors and some of the publishing assistants, but I knew they'd all probably be busy. I was a little bit nervous, but I actually met up with Emma, whose channel and blog I'll link below, and I met up with a load of other bloggers who I'd never met before, but by the end of the evening I felt like I knew them, and we all followed each other on Twitter, and we had a lovely, lovely evening. So thank you all so much for making me feel really welcome. Thank you to the authors who let me take pictures with them. I mean, Scott Lynch and Bradley BEAULIEU, I'm pretty happy. I'm just going to put in some clips of the party first, and then I'll put in some clips of the actual Sunday event. And then I'm going to show you the books that I managed to get over the weekend and that I got signed. I took a lot of books up with me to get signed on the Sunday. So here is the footage.
I have some fantastic news for you. This speech will be short. Oh wait, sorry, that's draft one. If you are here and in this room, then you are part of Darren.
Sorry, final edits on the street.
Should we start again from the beginning?
No.
You are here because you are part of the oldest and most successful SFF list in the UK.
We publish in the vicinity of 3,500 ebooks by almost 250 authors. We have a website that's received 175,000 unique visitors, totaling over 1 million page views. And just last month, we sold our 1 millionth ebook.
I'm filming!
For those of you who are here yesterday, it's all very similar. Bathrooms, books, authors. We are doing 2 panels this morning.
Don't get priorities.
But it was the science fiction that kind of grabbed me, and I really enjoyed reading the story. And I thought they were just written there. I thought they'd been written for that magazine. I didn't realise that some of the stories were from the 40s and 50s. But in fact, they did the Medusa Chronicle, a meeting with Medusa, which was actually, it was only about 3 years old. It was a story that was published in Playboy in 1971. It was actually a relatively recent and up-to-date piece of work by Clark. I just read it as if it was any other story. But, the interesting thing was that I lived in Barry at the time, in South Wales, and that's where I was born. And we lived up on the hill, and you can actually see Minehead from Barry. So as soon as I found out that this writer had been born in Minehead, which was only about 7 miles away as the crow flies, I always felt sort of immediate kinship with Clark, because I could actually see Minehead. So it was kind of it was a nice circular process that it came around to working on this book.
So that is everything that I filmed. I didn't film too much because I didn't want to be really obnoxious and getting in people's faces, and there were a lot of people sitting on the Sunday, so I could only film snippets. But I hope that gives you a little bit of an overview of some of the things that happened on the weekend. Now I'm going to show you some books, the first of which I was given on the Friday night, and that is this one. It is an ARC copy of The Massacre of Mankind by Stephen Baxter, who was one of the authors there. This is apparently pitched as a follow-on from War of the Worlds, which is by H.G. Wells. I'm sure many of you guys probably know H.G. Wells and his stories. He was very, very famous back in the day, and I'm sure even if you haven't read the book, you may have seen the film for War of the Worlds, and you probably know the story of the aliens who come and invade Earth and then end up dying off. So this is supposedly a follow-on, and all it says on the back is, "The Martians have returned. The world is unprepared. The Massacre of Mankind begins." And this comes out on the 19th of January, so it's got a good while before it comes out, but you can definitely go and add it to your pre-order lists. I don't know if the final cover is going to look quite like this, but I really, really like the way they've designed it so far. It's beautiful, and I can't wait to sort of see what this is all about. The next books I'm going to show you are all things that I took up with me, so I didn't buy them at the event, I already had them, and I took them up with me to get them signed. So the first thing is a Bradley BEAULIEU book, which is Of Sand and Malice Made, and this one I wanted to get signed because I already had my copy of 12 Kings signed, so I got this one signed, and Bradley's signature is fantastic. I mean, look at that, it's so cool. So I definitely wanted to get this signed by him. He was absolutely lovely to me over the whole weekend. He was chatting to me and making me feel very welcome, which is always a great thing, and I just really enjoyed getting to chat to him again. He also was very kind and gave me a free map at the event, which is this one. It is a map of SHARAKHAI, as you can see, and then again he has signed it here, which is awesome, but it's a really, really cool map, so I was very happy to get that, and I will be keeping it with my collection of 12 Kings things. I cannot now wait for book number 2 in the series, because as you guys probably know, this one, Of Sand and Malice Made, is actually a novella. I reviewed it very recently, so if you haven't read it, then definitely check out my review. I'll link it in the corner so that you can go and click on it and watch that, because it is non-spoiler as always. The next one I managed to get signed is Obelisk by Stephen Baxter, and this one I'll quickly show you the signature. But I really enjoyed the chat that Alastair Reynolds and Stephen Baxter gave together. They were both talking about their Medusa Chronicles series, which is kind of a follow-on from Arthur C. Clarke. I've not read any Clarke, but obviously I know he's a very established figure within the SF world, because there is the Clarke Award, which was named after him. And the two of them, Stephen Baxter and Alastair Reynolds, were talking together about how they decided to continue on his series with the Medusa Chronicles. The next one I have is Revenger by Alastair Reynolds, and this one I took up with me to get signed as well. I think this cover is stunning. I showed you guys it in my recent haul, and he just put, "To Caitlin, all the best, Alastair Reynolds, September 18th, 2016. So that was really nice, and he was a lovely person to chat to as well, however briefly, so that was really cool, and I love this cover. I cannot wait to read this. I said to him when I was there that I'm not a huge science fiction reader. I read bits and pieces, but I tend to prefer slightly simpler SF because it makes it easier for me to get into, and he said that this was more of a SF with sort of fantasy elements thrown in as well, and it has like a lighter feel, so it might be one that I would enjoy. So hopefully that is the case, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And the final 3 that I managed to get signed are all ones that Gollancz sent me just before I went to the event, these ones, and I was so happy to get these because they came out of nowhere in the post, which was so exciting. So the first one I have is The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. This is the 10-year anniversary edition. I love it. It's so shiny and beautiful all the way around. Really, really lovely, as you can see. And he very kindly wrote out a little quote for me in it and said, "For Caitlin, I can't read his writing, so I don't actually know what he's written as a quote." It says, "A touch that something, but more the hope for that." Maybe a touch that killed? I'm not sure. But thank you for signing my book anyway, and I had a nice chat with him as well, which was really, really cool. Managed to bring up the BookTube SFF Awards, so that was awesome, and talk to him a little bit about that, which was fun. So really, really enjoyed that. Again, I really enjoyed hearing him speak. I've watched him in a few interviews before, and he's very, very entertaining, very funny, So I really enjoyed seeing him speak, and he was on the stage with the other two that I'm about to show you too, and the three of them together were just very amusing, which is fabulous. So the next one I got signed is The Lies of Locke Lamora. This again is the 10-year anniversary edition, and it's beautiful. As you can see, like super shiny coppery colours, lovely. There is actually a tower on here, although I don't think you can see it very well. There's a tower there and then a tower there and there. It's not very clear on the screen, but anyway, it is there. And I got this one signed by Scott, and he was absolutely lovely. I got a picture with him before, as anyone stealing this book will be afflicted with a plague of fire ants. So I won't be lending this one out. From Scott Lynch, September 2016. Thank you so much to Scott for signing this. I had a fantastic time talking to him and kind of getting to see him a little bit in the flesh. I was a little bit awestruck at first because he is probably one of the people I was most looking forward to seeing, and it was fantastic to actually get to meet him and also to get him to sign my edition, so that was really great. And then the final one is a book I've not actually read, and it's called The Stormcaller by Tom Lloyd. Again, this is the 10-year anniversary edition, and my goodness, this is probably my favourite one of the designs. It's got this really, really badass looking dragon motif on the front, which is absolutely stunning, and then all this lightning, as you can see. And it's by Tom Lloyd, who I had never read anything by, but apparently he's very good because he's got the 10th anniversary edition. And he was really great on the stage too. He kind of kept the conversation going and kept giving everyone else questions and helping them along. So that was really fabulous. And he was very nice and signed my book as well and just put best wishes. So I cannot wait to read this. I'll probably be getting to this fairly soon because I've not read it and I didn't even know it was a thing. So I'm very excited to try this one out, considering the company that this was sent to me with, like Scott Lynch, Joe Abercrombie and Sanderson. I love all of their stuff, so I'm sure that Tom Lloyd I will probably enjoy as well, so I can't wait for that. And then as a final little thing to mention, I didn't realise this, but Miles Cameron, who is the author of The Red Knight, I didn't realise he was going to be there, and he said it was very last minute, so he didn't really know who was going to be there too, but he was there, so I didn't have a book that I could get him to sign, and so I just went over and had a little chat with him, and he actually recognised me from YouTube, which was so exciting, and I had a fantastic time. Kind of little bit of moment of glee that an author recognised me from YouTube, so that was really, really great. And I just want to say thank you to him for like chatting to me for 5 minutes about the fact that I was really excited for book number 4 in his series. So that was also really, really wonderful. I had a fantastic time, and I would just love to thank everyone who put on such a fantastic little mini festival. It was really, really good fun. And if you do get the chance to go next year or to any of the events that they're doing in different places, because some of the authors are about to go on tour, then definitely do. I think they are a fantastic team of authors, publishers and publicists, so definitely check them out. I would love to hear from you guys if you've read any of the books that I just showed you, or if you are planning to go to the next GollanczFest, or if you went to this one and you saw me and you said hello. I don't know, some people did, but I think some people didn't, so if you saw me, then do let me know as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.